if you think I'm going to talk like Anna said, it's not right for this kind of occasion, so I'm going to talk right. And thank you so much for that very, very warm introduction. And I want to thank the selection committee for bestowing this honor on me. It's got to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, honors I've ever received at the university. So I really appreciate it. Sean, thank you for doing a great job in organizing this. Tom, thank you so much for those kind words. Just to be in your presence, and Sharon and all of the other wonderful and incredible performers who are being inducted this year. I'm humbled, really, by the company that I keep in this particular class. And I want to thank all of you for attending. I'll use a yogi expression. Thank you all for making this day necessary. I'm so blessed to be surrounded by such a large circle of family, friends, and colleagues. And I'd just like to introduce a few of them. First and foremost, my very best friend since the 2nd grade. And without a doubt, one of FDU's greatest fans, my wife, Carol. Also at our table, my best life accomplishments, my son, Rich, his wife, Michelle, my 2 grandchildren, Johnny and Sarah, my daughter, Lisa, her husband, Tim, my grandson, Ryan, and his brother, Aaron, who's 5 and stayed home because he couldn't bear to listen to his grandfather give a speech. Another individual at my table, I just want to take a minute to introduce Yusuf Ugras. Yusuf, stand up, please. Yusuf came to my class the morning after he landed at JFK from Turkey as a brand new freshman at FDU. Had some difficulty with the language. Frankly, I think he still does. And ended up with a grade of A-. Is that right, Yusuf? 4 years later, Yusuf graduated with his undergraduate degree in accounting with a GPA of 3.9999. He had an A in every single course he took, except this one course that he took as a freshman. That professor really, really messed you up. He's now went on to get his PhD in accounting, became a professor of accounting at LaSalle University, became associate dean of the business school at LaSalle University, and is now the director of international studies and the dean of the College of Continuing Education at LaSalle University. I talk about Yusuf because he's a model of the kind of student, the kind of person this remarkable institution can produce. Most of all of our Hall of Fame members are in the hall because of their individual performance. And just as you heard this evening, they are incredible individual performances. I really believe I'm somewhat different than that. Whatever I'm being recognized for, my work was really very rarely done by myself. My work required buy-in and support from so many, many, many people. My comments tonight will be to try to recognize those many who worked so hard with me to achieve our goal. And it was a simple one. And that is to have the most outstanding group of student athletes in the country. So my first thank you goes out to our student athletes. because they are the ones that carry our flag forward, not only as athletics, as athletes, but as quality human beings, productive citizens, and fantastic students while they were here. I asked Ann Galino to present me tonight because she was with me all of the way in the first days of formalizing academic support, when it really was not being done in schools around the country. She was there when the NCAA came to certify our athletic program. And those of you who know anything about athletic certification know that when this first came down the pike, it was a very, very scary thing. This is like accreditation for academic disciplines, but for athletics. They come here, they spend 4 days, and they meet and they tell the president of the university whether or not you meet the requirements. And if you don't meet those requirements, you're not in NCAA athletics. So you can see the stakes are high. Ann was with me at the exit interview after that first accreditation. And we were one of the first schools to go through this accreditation process. So we really didn't have anybody to call to say, you know, what's it about? What do they want us to do? We were really in it as first-time individuals. So we were very, very nervous. Ann was with me at that exit interview when that committee of 4 or 5 met with the president and went through all of the different components. We received our accreditation, and we're very proud to do that. But one of the comments they made was that our academic support system for athletes was one of, if not the best in the United States. And for that, I owe Ann a tremendous debt of gratitude. She worked very, very hard with me in pulling that off. The support network goes wider than that. I have to give special thanks to Roy Danforth, the athletic director that was in place when he asked me to take this position as faculty athletic representative. And President Robert Donaldson, who also supported my selection to this position. And every athletic director that followed supported our work to the end. Jerry Oswald, Steve Hurlbut, Ann Galino, and now David Langford. I must recognize all of the coaches, because without their full cooperation and support for academic excellence in our athletes, we would not have been successful. Without the coaches, it doesn't happen. And it was across the board in terms of the participation of our coaches. Our faculty and staff also had to be on board. The faculty member who tells a basketball player, make a decision, travel to the game or get an F in this exam. We can't have that. And so we were able to call those faculty and talk to them and sensitize them to the importance of intercollegiate athletics at any university. As I said to many of those faculty, what college and university did you go to? I have a feeling they probably had a bigger athletic program than we have. So you have to understand the importance and utility of an athletic program at a university. And they came around, and we were so proud of making a presentation to our faculty with regard to missed classes. And we got them to vote unanimously on a policy that accommodates now all of our student athletes in terms of their missing class for athletic competition. And it was a cooperation between coaches, student athletes, and faculty and staff. And they all worked together to make it happen. 6 years ago, our student athletes broke the record for academic performance. We decided to honor them with a special dinner. We called it the Scholar Athlete Dinner. And I made a pledge to them that first year that the dinner would be repeated every time they broke the academic record of the previous year. That was 6 years ago. This Tuesday, we will have the 6th consecutive Scholar Athlete Dinner here at the Metropolitan Campus with each and every one of those student athletes. She's the one that sees to it that they register for the right classes, that they register in a schedule that minimizes class absence. She counsels them. She holds their hand when necessary and gives them kind of a shot to the back of the head when necessary. She works with the faculty. She now makes those calls to the faculty who at times seem to be unreasonable. And I would be remiss if I did not recognize Ms. Jen Quirk, our Assistant Athletic Director for Academic Support. Jen, please stand, please. Lastly, see, I'm doing good. No one believed I could do it. Lastly, and certainly not least, none of this happens if you don't have the administrative support for what you're trying to do. We have the best anywhere in our campus provost, Joe Kiernan. Joe? And it goes higher, all the way to the Board of Trustees. And we're honored, I'm honored, to have Mary Kay Stratus here tonight, a member of our board who I'm sure all of you know has been a generous and very enthusiastic supporter of FDU athletics. Mary Kay, we love you. This is a very special institution, this Fairleigh Dickinson University. Not easy to roll out, but it's there. This is the university that took a skinny Italian kid, I was skinny at one time, took a skinny Italian kid from uneducated parents in Paterson, New Jersey, and led him to this lectern to speak to you this evening. Thank you, Fairleigh Dickinson University, and thank you all for being here. Thank you.